Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of St. Maarten Live. We appreciate you being here. I'm Gabriella from True Marketing on behalf of the St. Maarten Tourism Bureau. We are here today as with our friends. It's called St. Maarten and Friends, this episode. And the reason why is we want to let you know about all of the different destinations that are close to us, close to our hearts, close to us in distance, and that make a beautiful extension to your St. Maarten stay. So we call ourselves the sort of hub and spoke model here, where you can base yourself in St. Maarten, land in St. Maarten, and then easily get to some of these beautiful places that are rich with natural beauty, adventure, and wonder. So we're here with Anguilla, we're here with Saba, and we're here with St. Eustatius, as well as Marla from the St. Maarten Tourism Bureau. So you're going to learn a little bit about what's unique in each destination, and also very importantly, how to get to each destination from our beautiful St. Maarten. So I will turn it over to Marla to kick us off, and we are very excited about what you have to say.
Thank you so much, Gabby. It is always a pleasure to be here and talk about a destination. I hope you are able to see my screen. If you let me know. So it is St. Maarten. We are the destination where typically most of the visitors would arrive in. On that side, we have the international airport, but we're located in the Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean. So you can see a couple of our friends that we'll be hosting today are nestled right around us. And then coming into St. Maarten, there are flights from most of the major cities and then most of the major carriers. So that is from the US market as well as from the Canadian market. From there, we have our airport, which has just opened. It's a beautiful, spanking new airport that we opened up. And we're so happy to welcome you and your agents, your clients into the island. It is also the island where you'll actually hop off and go over to the neighboring islands. So whether by air or by plane, but these are some of the options that we have. We are the hub for a lot of the Caribbean islands, the Western Caribbean islands, as well as the Eastern. And you can see we have a long list. Again, some of the partners that will be showcasing with us will be listed on this. So while you're in St. Maarten, of course, where to stay? The island hosts a number of hotels, resorts, boutiques, guest houses, villas, timeshare, apartment, Airbnb, and the list goes on. These are some of our more boutique hotels that you can find. Some of our condos, villas, Airbnbs, home away from homes. And then also, again, some more accommodations that's available. Now, exploring around the island is easy. We drive on the right-hand side, so it's easy to get along. And you can either rent a car, rent a taxi, take a Jeep safari tour, or if you're very adventurous, head over on the ATV tours or do a cycling tour. Some of the things that we would recommend doing is taking in the sights and the arts. That's in Phillipsburg for the most part, but you will find a lot of that scattered throughout the island. Other activities that might be something to consider, the nectar product and the Tijon perfumery, where you can actually get products that are made by yourself, or and the nectar, where you can actually buy the different creams, lotions, sunscreens, bug sprays, to name a few, and then hop over to Tijon, where you'll actually be able to create your own scents. Spaces Garden is another unique experience that we really encourage people to visit. Wyatt is really the founder of the foundation, where he does a lot of community projects, helping us as residents, but also as local visitors to come and experience the herbs, the fruits, the vegetables, and how to make them and take care of yourself. Another creative experience would be actually taking a steel pan class with Dow, the mighty Dow, who is a reigning king of Calypsonians. But he also does a lot of steel pan classes for couples, one person, two person, or a group. And then, of course, settle into a nice horseback riding tour with a champagne toasting, and then you can walk into the water with a horse if you choose to. For kids, we would recommend a bird park, which is located on that side of the island. There are over 50 different species of parrots that are maintained by the owner, whose name happens to be George Parrot, like really. And then, of course, you can go over to the Rusty Parrot and experience that, to learn a little bit of the history of the piracy in St. Maarten and around the Caribbean islands. Some nice sailing opportunities. At the Simpsonville Lagoon, you'll have these mega yachts that come in. They are available for charter. The season is really November to March, so anytime around that. Other than that, you can also sail off on some of the nicer catamaran tours that we have, and they customize, so they make it a really true experience. You can actually just tour for a day, half day, full day, go to a neighboring island, or you can charter it for a couple of days. Some of the beaches you want to go check out would be Grand Cas Beach, really known because of the lolos that line along that beach area, and the water is beautiful. Mullet Bay Beach is known as one of the most popular beaches on the Dutch side, and is really one that most visitors and locals go to when they go swimming. You have the Orient Beach. Orient Beach is also known for its clothing optional. So there is might be a few stragglers walking along the beach that may not be fully clothed or in swimsuits. So you just look out for that. And in Kupakoi, so you have this picturesque area where you can go down to the beach, and the sunset that just reflects off the cave is just amazing. Beautiful for picture taking. Of course, dining in St. Martin, we are a large culinary destination, and we have over 350 restaurants on both Dutch and French sides. The cuisine varies from Indonesian, Moroccan, Italian, French, and of course, our local cuisine, which you have to have. You can get that at the Lolos or any of the little food trucks or stalls. Of course, for those who are health conscious, we do have a number of restaurants or specifically focus on catering to your needs and requirements. And of course, a stop without going to the Amsterdam cheese shop would not be completed, because they do offer various types of cheeses, including pesto. They have the mushroom truffle, all kind of different cheeses that you can offer. And they also would allow you to have an experience of pairing the cheeses with the different wines or champagnes. So some of the restaurants, we just wanted to highlight a few of them so you can check them out, because they are just some of the samples we can offer from both French and Dutch side for you to sample. And the nightlife on the island is amazing. The Dutch side is known more for the nightlife. The French side is a bit quieter. The casinos are all located on the Dutch side, but you will find a few restaurants, nightclubs that have live entertainment on both sides of the island. Our annual events include the Heineken Regatta. We just wrapped up in March, but the dates for the new regatta is out. So take note of that if you love sailing. And it's also awesome because after the sailing, they go and have some parties. And of course, with St. Martin, everything surrounds food. So you will be able to sample some food around there as well. Then the next event would be the St. Martin Music Fest. That is just a week after the regatta. They just wrapped up, but the dates are still to be announced. But you can look out for that. Just type in SXM Music Fest. You'll find the information. And just a note, it is more of a techno music concert that's being held. And then, of course, our Grand Carnival Parade. So while the French side does have a carnival, we have our Grand Carnival Parade that starts April 14, goes all the way down to May. And dates to take note of is on April 30th. We have the Grand Carnival Parade, where you'll see all the lovely costumes and people parading, having fun. And then we have a second day lap on May 1st. So you can kind of build your itinerary out anytime a couple days before, and including the Carnival parades. So this is where you can reach us. And we are so happy that you took the time to come and visit us. And Gabby, I'm going to hand it over to the rest of my friends. Thank you.
That's fantastic as always. And it's just, I have fond memories of us, you taking me in the car to go visit that bird park years and years ago. And I had no idea what
Awesome.
was awaiting me, but it was beautiful. And that's the wonderful thing about St. Martin. People love to go because there's so much to do. You often can't possibly fit everything in that you wish to do before you go. So it's important to plan. All right, so we're going to move over to Anguilla and Cone. So we are looking forward to hearing a little bit more. Just make sure you open your mic and you can go ahead and share your presentation.
Absolutely. Thank you for the warm welcome, Gabriella. All right, again, thank you for the warm welcome. It's indeed a pleasure to be here, in tropical regards from Anguilla. So on our beautiful island, we welcome you, of course. And the million-dollar question is, how do you get to Anguilla, especially with access from St. Martin? So St. Martin has served as our main gateway to the island of Anguilla for many years and still is. So you can get to Anguilla directly from St. Martin, either Dutch or French side, depends on which is better for your convenience and connection. Or there's another option to get to Anguilla from Puerto Rico during seasonal months. Those are usually during our busier months, more into the November and December season. Along from sea travel, you can get here via the Princess Juliana Airport. It is the shortest international flight in the world. It's about 8 minutes, and it's a short hop over the pond to Anguilla, and you will be in Anguilla in less than no time. Showcasing, of course, air, we have our seaport, which is accessible from the French or Dutch side as well. So just a bit about Anguilla and what you can expect to find and do on this little small escape that's about 20 minutes by boat from St. Martin. Anguilla prides itself in being one of those places that bodes itself in luxury, in relaxation, and experimental travel. It is a family-friendly place, inviting all folks in terms of multi-generational families. We also do couples, and as of late, we've been seeing a younger demographic within our day trippers, especially from the island of St. Martin. So there's a lot of curiosity based on what is there to explore on this little island. And that comes in the form of quick little day trips from St. Martin right over to this small little island. So within Anguilla, the themes that you can expect to find as any would be romance, adventure, diving, and also into-our meetings and incentives. So Anguilla does boast some exquisite accommodations in the Caribbean, and that is true. We attract all crowds and we welcome all crowds from all our property options as far as Four Seasons brand, Belmont, the Aurora, which is home to the only 18-hole golf course in Anguilla. We attract a diverse crowd and a diverse audience, which welcomes all people from all walks of life, whether you want to experience Angola for a day, a week, or maybe you may be a digital nomad and want to stay in Angola for an extended period of time. We do welcome everyone who's interested in any sorts of stays here in Angola, no matter the time frame that you have. So some of our property products also include very small but luxury style villas, and these can range from different areas around the island from the west to the east and central. So it's really inundated with a variety of options, depending on whatever you choose. And here are a bit of our products and some of the hotel options that we have to offer. So as far as it pertains to maybe you have large groups that you would like to bring to the island, and we do have different venues and products that can cater to those needs. Moving into the MICE sector is understanding that we have many options for your groups, whether they be incentive walk travel or they be couples, families, etc., you name it. We do have the venues to accommodate that if that is something that your guests or your clients are actively seeking for. We all know that meeting space is very important, and to be able to offer that is added luxury that we do boast here in Anguilla. So what do you actually do? So we've noticed a certain trend around when folks come to Anguilla, especially the day trippers that come over from St. Martin, they tend to execute a few key events. One of which would be our Savvy Beach Club, which is located on the western end of Anguilla. Of course, we have all these off the beaten path destinations and little tokens that you can find, such as this here, the Goat Cave. It's just a gem for locals and tourists combined, somewhere where you can hang out, you can see very unique fractures in our landscape. And of course, the diving is one to none. We do boast in a beautiful, beautiful area of diving, our diving sector, as far as our reefs, our oceans, and our shipwrecks. It's really inundated with anything that you can imagine. For those underwater lovers who wish to spend a day in Anguilla, make that the primary focus of your trip here. And of course, our beautiful water parks. So this comes in handy for the kids. For those clients who are traveling with kids, of course, that's the main concern, our main topic that you want to address. What is there that will keep the kids engaged and give them that whole 360 experience of fun, adventure, great gastronomy? In all those options, we have right here at the Aurora Water Park, which is I previously mentioned is home to our 18-course golf course. And of course, the little nuggets that make Anguilla special are our offshore keys, such as Prickly Pear, Sandy Island, Silly Key, all of which I've mentioned have restaurants that pride in some of the best local seafood that you can find here in Anguilla. And of course, as we are surrounded by the ocean, there is some things inland that are definitely worth seeing, such as the Catooch hike, where you can go, you can see fossils of prehistoric animals. You can see different medicinal trees that we've used over centuries in Anguilla prior to modernization and stuff of that sort. This is a very interesting trail as you learn about, Anguilla prior to our modernization period and how our folks, lived and survived. So a couple more of activities. We have kayaking, night kayaking, as you would see here in this demonstration. It's such a beautiful sight to see. You see the turtles sneaking up and they give you a show every time that you go out. They're attracted to the light. So those are little beautiful things that you can do while you're here in Anguilla. Of course, being surrounded by sand, we're inundated with all kind of water sports that you can possibly partake in, and we do our job to make sure that all sports needs, all activities are well catered to. We also do pride ourselves in art. Art is one of the main focuses here in Anguilla for those novice who are um, interested in art. We do have a couple art galleries around the island, dating back from centuries to collector items, and so have it. Also, ATV tours and different adventures around the island that can give you that site tour, and you can really consume Anguilla in a day. Horseback riding still seems to be one of the fan favorites of those who visit Anguilla. It's a unique experience with unique storytellers such as Zambezi, who is in this picture. You can always count on these guys to tell you the history of a lot of things that you see on your trail, whether it be on the horse, taking a dip in the ocean. There's really no limits to it. And of course, what we do best is our food. Anguilla has definitely made a reputation globally for the food that we serve. And outside of just fresh local seafood, we have just some of the best that money can buy in terms of our cuisine, the way it's prepared, the influences of the cuisine. It's really just your global one-stop shop for just a taste of the Caribbean and the world combined. So as far as beach bars, grills, little night vibes like the Banky Banks Dune Preserve, many things that you can see and do and experience all in one on a culinary basis, on a nightlife basis. We have those for locals and tourists combined as we are a very inclusive tourist destination. All right, and that brings me to the end of my presentation. I do believe there's a video here that we can all watch. So thank you for having me and do enjoy.
Sometimes it's giving attention. Sometimes it's giving attention to what other is just taking it to some other is just and taking it to some. That makes you and seeing parts of your life. And then yourself seeing parts of history. Boy, then yourself in that history. And boy, that's an experience thing. Whether you're with a friend or maybe you're going it alone. Whether you're with a friend or maybe you're going it alone. However, you should know that here, right, we are taking up the bite here. We are taking up bite out of everything. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a fish. When you taste fresh fish, that is just fresh out of the water. Something like it like this. Something like it. Angular is where you fall in love. Angular is where you fall in love. Well, because when you find yourself, and when you find yourself, it ends up finding things. It's the truth.
Thank you so much, Cone. That was beautiful. And it's, I think one thing's clear for places that might not be so big geographically, it's incredible what you can do in some of the depths of the range of
Absolutely.
activity. So we love seeing that. Thank you so much. That was just a
Thank
visual
you.
presentation. Thank you. All right, now we're going to move over to Saba. We'll turn it over to Jordan, who's here with us to tell us a little bit more about Saba. So take it away.
Yes, thank you for the introduction. Let me just share my screen. 1 second. You can hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah, we just saw your screen. Yeah, you can pull it up again.
And you were hearing me when I was sharing my screen as well?
No, you muted yourself, so just gonna maybe try
Okay.
to.
All right. Okay,
All right,
you can see the
good to
screen
go.
now?
Good to go.
Okay, so my name is Jordan Every, and I'm representing the Saba Tourist Bureau. I am the product development coordinator, and before I go into what Saba has to offer and why you should visit Saba, I would just like to start with a short video just to give you an introduction. Yeah, so that was our video about Saba. So I can give you some quick facts. Saba is a 5 square mile island located in the Caribbean. We have 5 ecosystems from desert climate to tropical rainforest. We are world renowned for scuba diving, snorkeling, and hiking trails, as well as snorkeling. We have an active creative community. We are known for the world's shortest commercial runway, the Juancho Riraskin Airport. And also, one of our greatest attractions is Mount Scenery, which is the highest point in the Dutch Kingdom. It is 2,910 feet or 877 meters. It is a total of 1,067 steps. So, how do you get to Saba? So Saba you can access by ferry or by plane. So we have the Edge, which does day trips on Tuesdays and Fridays, as well as the Makana. You can access Saba from St. Martin strictly with the Edge, and for Makana you can access it from St. Martin or St. Kitts. It's only a 90-minute ferry. And for Winair, we have a 12-minute flight, and there are daily trips from St. Martin, and there are also day trips available. So what can you do on Saba? So on Saba, we have abundant lush trails. We have over 20 different hiking trails on the island that traverse through the various biomes. So the trails vary in intensity. So there are easier options if you are more of an avid hiker. There are also harder options as well. We also have guided hikes that can be arranged via Saba Conservation Foundation, who is in charge of the conservation and preservation of our natural and cultural heritage here on the island. As for underwater wonders, if you're interested in scuba diving and things like that, we boast one of the top dive spots in the world. If you're not interested in diving, we also offer snorkeling tours and things like sunset cruises and other things of that nature. Marine conservation is a very high priority, and this is also, like I mentioned, managed by the Saba Conservation Foundation. History about Saba. So Saba, we have a rich history dating back over to 3,000 years ago when the Saboni first lived on the island. Over the years, we have many artifacts that have been found. Visitors who want to learn more can visit the Heritage Center or the Harry L. Johnson Museum in Morriside, which is actually an old home from Saba from back in the day that has been turned into a museum. We also have a very strong creative community. We have basically a colony of artists, from seamstress to jewelry makers to painters and things of that nature. So if you would like to take a class or anything like that, you can come to Saba and you can enjoy making some arts and crafts. Other than this, we also offer Saba lace, which is a type of needlework that dates back to the 1800s. And we have local workers that can show you how this is done. As for cuisine, we have food available ranging from international gastronomic options and also local options as well. Fresh seafood is abundant, and in particular, of course, our famous Saban lobster. Every time in November, we have our Lobster and Rum Festival, so you can come to the island for that as well. As for places to stay in Saba, we have our hotels, cottages, and villas. For hotels, this page is more about hotels. We have Cottage Club and Juliana's Hotel, and then we have Saba Arawak Hotel and El Momo's Cottages. For the future, we have Scenery Hotel, which will be opened in October of this year. So then we will have more rooms available to accommodate more tourists on the island. And then, of course, we have our beautiful villas. Our villas are mostly managed by property managers. So we have Saba Island Properties, which is the property manager, Saba Island Premier Properties as well. An example of a very famous villa on the island is the Compass Cottage, as well as the Haiku House and Spyglass Villa, which is also a very beautiful villa on the island. Other than this, every month we have different events that go on. Right now we are in Wellness Month, and we have Saba Wellness Month. We have a bunch of yoga, things like that, that are available for tourists here on the island. Next month we go into Saba Carnival Month, and then in the schedule you can see different available options. If you want to come year round, we have different events available hosted by the Tourist Bureau in collaboration with our partners. If you would like to contact us, please call us on our phone number, our social media, and our Facebook is listed below. So thank you, and we hope you're inspired to visit Saba.
That was great. Again, so many surprises and so much to do to keep busy. So, I definitely recommend don't just make it a day trip, but look look at making it a little bit of an extended stay. So thank you so much. That was beautiful. And finally, we're going to round out. We're going to move over to St. Eustatius, and we're going to bring on Ebeline, who will be able to share a little bit more information about this destination. So I hope you all enjoy. You can go ahead and share your screen and open your mic. Ebeline, are you able to hear us? Emmeline, are you with us? Okay, I think we may have lost them. So we're going to need to cut it a little bit short. Hopefully, if everybody can just come back on the screen, I'd love to just kind of thank you all so they can see your beautiful faces again. What we'll do is make sure that in the show notes, we'll give you everybody's contact information so that you can reach out to each person that you spoke to individually if you have any further questions, which I'm sure you do. And also they can keep you posted on opportunities to visit and new promotions and things like that. So I highly encourage you to come, of course, visit us in St. Martin and go visit our friends. They're always willing to help you. And we really, really thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about our beautiful region here. So we'll see you next time. I would love to wave you all goodbye. So with that, it's been beautiful to see you all. Have a great day. We have a beautiful sunny day, and we'll see you soon. And hopefully next time with St. Eustatius back on board. Have a great day. Take care.